everyone, it's Partyfoot here with another Mechabellum replay. This time it was a fun game because we got a pretty special card reasonably early on, which allowed us to go for a bit of an extreme strategy. Our opponent starts with the Stormcallers and the Fangs, the kind of slow, anti-large barrage, anti-slow. It's going to win maybe a longer range fight. We get the Void Eyes and the Sledgehammers and go pretty aggressive. I wanted to put like a kind of a moving front, a sweeping front, so staggering the Void Eyes a little bit. Sledges in front. Crawlers with nothing behind to draw the missiles, assuming that he was actually going to place them symmetrically, which is usually the case. So hopefully they would land in this area. Second set of crawlers just going to follow up after that. Let's see how this works. Our opponent grabs some arc lights. So yeah, this was kind of a fun game. I didn't actually think I was going to win, and I made a lot of bad choices. So we can criticize those together. That looked good. Over this side, these three Valiant tanks draw the vast majority of his force over here as well, which is nice. One crawler getting over here as well. They take out most of these Fangs, if not all of them, by the time, before going down. And actually, playing a nice delaying action. While the rest of our forces take down the left flank. From their perspective, yeah, that makes sense. Their left flank. I don't know, do you, like... in battle accounts, like, what does Nelson say? Okay, I don't know. But, yeah, here we go. These Fangs making a valiant effort taking down the level 1 tower. But we get the tower in return. And I think this one's going to be over. Pretty good number of our forces still surviving, so that's good. Round number 1. Going in our favor. So this went to 9 rounds, I think. Or 10, can't quite remember. Probably shouldn't say that. There is an improved fire control system. There we go. Easy pick. Goes on our leveled Void Eyes, which we do put the level on. Kind of like having a decent, strong DPS unit like a Void Eye in the middle with a decent level, because then it just kind of like, if they put down like a Farseer, it's going to do decently. It can just take it out, Like, imagine if they just put a Saber here. It's just, it's like, okay. I mean, that would be wild, crazy. I'm anticipating moves that my opponent would have to be crazy to do. Maybe that's because somewhere in my mind I'm like, maybe I should do that. I was thinking about arc lights. Putting maybe a couple arc lights in here, improving the chaff clear to kind of complement the Void Eyes. I'm a sucker for going symmetrical on stuff, so I often really find it hard to just buy one unit, but it seems like it could do a pretty good job servicing this area. Grab the level for the tower, because we're just going to be denying or much investment in that area. Opponent goes for Phoenix. So, not spending all of his deployments this round, which I noticed. And going for those air units, which we do not have anything to fight. So that's going to be a round win for him one way or another. But we do get an opportunity to see how our big swarm goes, which is good, it looks like. Oh, except that is devastating. Ouch. Okay, well, maybe it could be slightly better, but we're pushing straight through onto the tower and then just marching relentlessly forward while these guys kind of impotently ping down onto these individual units. Not doing great while the debuff's on. The crawlers are on the... This is the worst type of situation they find themselves in. Although actually Arclight does a solid and clears them out. Okay, we're gonna clear up, looks like, almost everything on the ground before we go down, so could be worse. It really could be worse. Round 3. Here it is. Mass-produced Wasp. We are going to make all Wasps. Round 3, free tech, half the cost of a Wasp. Turn them into, actually chaff, except that they are still really strong, compared to Fangs. Right? And they fly. And they have, they have ground spec as an option. That's 200% extra damage. That's crazy. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if that is going to be good. Opponent's getting leveled crawlers. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really afraid of crawlers as what with wasps, I guess, so maybe that felt good in the moment. They are leveled though, so these Arclights, I think they have a breakpoint where they have to two-shot these guys now, isn't there? Let's see if we can notice that. It's hard to hear under the chaos. It's definitely a slaughter one way or another. And I think these Wasps are going to take down his only anti-air in the form of these two Phoenix. Although, you know, this missile could come into play. We'll see. They are moving out from underneath it, so probably not. Looks like we're going to steal air superiority win on the backhand, which is nice. Oh, I discounted these guys. Luckily, our forces are taking them down. Actually hoping this time that the Void Eyes prioritize Fangs, which is unusual. Oh, we do lose all the Wasps, bar one, at the end there, to the missile. Clearing it out in the last second, it's quite nice. Now, our opponent also had a pretty novel strategy this game, and he's going to start displaying that now with the Typhoon pickup. So, I was thinking what I wanted. I was tempted by the Sabers, actually, but I ended up going for Hounds because it's just nice chaff. It clears chaff. It's just nice to have on the ground. I'm not investing too much into the ground, hopefully, if I'm going to get more Wasps. You're going to see a lot of reckless spending, a lot of crazy behavior. We sell the Arclight because we could replace it basically with a similar functionality in the Hound. The positioning, we didn't want to get any, closer to these guys because then they might get hit. And we're going to keep recruiting a bunch of Wasps. Our opponent goes for a huge flank. Look at this. Level 3 Typhoon, Elite Phantom Rays, and Crawlers. Our opponent is, of course, the Elite Specialist. That makes sense. He realizes that, like, halfway through re-watching the game. I like Elite Specialist. It's a fun spec. The leveled Wasps on this flank immediately going to work, but this level 3 Typhoons are going to do a number on them. So initially that was looking scary, but over here where our additional Wasps were spawned in, they're just taking over the field. There's nothing over there to stop them. We do lose the tower. It's going to slow these guys down and herald the demise of our initially very successful side push. Let's see what can happen here. I think in the form of these Phantom Rays, they really do have quite a lot of anti-air now. And actually, these Fangs as well will help, so it seems like a dire situation. We are taking down a couple Phoenix, a couple more Fangs. Oh, these Phantom Rays getting to work, though. Oh, they're not actually very good at taking these guys down because they kind of overkill them. I guess shields aren't going to be very good against Phantom Rays on Wasps, though, which is interesting to see. I hadn't really considered. Okay, so they don't actually splash the Wasps, which is what I thought might be happening. That's nice. We see the speed. I don't know. I need to be taught... we see the heavy armor. I need to be taught a situation where I don't want to pick the speed. In this case, though, I was thinking, what can we do about this? Ooh, we'll put an armored Rhino right in his face because he's already built the whole line, so he can't put down balls or something. He put down balls over here, but then I can put crawlers. Put down a Rhino straight in his face with armor. Our opponent was thinking, let's go to the other side as well and grab shields, which is, like, rude. Here comes another set of our guys, too. Yeah, there we go. With the heavy armor, too. 86k HP Rhino on the front line. And we just get range on the Wasps and just, like, put more in. Like, armored Rhino, but more Wasps. Level them, too. They're going to get good DPS. I mean, we don't actually have Marksman on here to benefit, like, a lot from those levels. So I don't think we end up leveling all the time. They are level 1 Wasps. Sorry, excuse me. They are mass-produced Wasps, so I don't think benefit as much from leveling up. So kind of that initial cost makes them very efficient, but then as you level them, you're probably heading back towards the region of the normal Wasp efficiency, and he's tanking everybody. He's doing exactly what we'd hope he'd do. Excellent, Smithers. Excellent. Our main force is kind of suffering now. Fang's kind of overwhelming, not enough chaff clear. Seems like those hounds are going down maybe too quickly, but the wasps up here are still surviving. Typhoons finished up everyone on this side and got onto the tower. We lose, get their tower there before we lose ours, so that gives us precious moments to take down these Phoenix. Oh, the timing could not have been delayed ever so slightly worse. Missile comes in to take down a little bit of health on those shields, but not ideal use. And this level 2 Typhoon is... I was thinking to myself, you know, oh gosh, is this going to be a win? It's probably going to be a loss, right? Mass-produced Wasps, there's a lot of them, but they're just wee. And this is... oh my god. Just an absolute slaughter. I hope I never see something like this in real life with my own eyes. Although, I mean, if they were all robots, that would actually be sick as hell. Maybe when we're, like, you know, maybe when, like, somehow we reach a utopia and everyone's really rich, which, you know, maybe that'll happen. Who knows? Let's be optimistic. Additional deployment slot. Yes. More wasps. Yeah, if we can get to a utopia, maybe we can, you know, have cool robot wars on a massive scale. Give them sentience. Force them to fight. No, we don't have to be cruel to them. Ideally, you know, I mean, that would be the desire. Ground spec. That would be funny though, right? Like, inevitably there'd be this arms race of like, how sophisticated can you make your robots to battle each other, right? Which immediately leads into them actually becoming like smart enough to maybe be problematic. Here comes Impact Drill on the crawlers, which actually I think is a pretty interesting move to get through these rhinos. I put one on this side too, and he adds his Phantom Ray crawler situation there too. He's covering it with the shield. He was going to invest more, but he decided not to. He must have ended up putting it on this side, I guess. No, wait. Maybe he just didn't place it. I'm not seeing where his investment's gone. Maybe these techs are costing him quite a lot here. Having an additional missile. Now we've got late fangs too, so a reasonable amount of chaff. We do clear out a little bit of that chaff with a missile of our own to try and make a little bit of a... oh, that's an interesting visual glitch. But this time, here we go. Ground spec is in, annihilating these guys. Over here, the fight still remains close, but these are a lot of ground spec wasps now. Never underestimate the ongoing wasp situation. Our opponent at any time could have gone Mustangs here. Okay, I admit. He did go Typhoon, and maybe he thought Typhoon is fine, and it is fine. But maybe Mustangs could have pushed back pretty effectively against these guys. I don't know. I guess he's still got time, right? But even already. I mean, Typhoons should beat Wasps, right? I mean, I'm getting a lot of them, I guess. Typhoons kind of don't have an insane range, it feels like, and they're a little bit slow. Fortress here, did get tempted by that, but thought the Melting Point might be quite nice. Opponent goes for an Overlord. Melting Point to just, if these things get too tanky, just work through them. I put down some crawlers here last round as well in order to try and kind of give this Rhino some backup. The other thing I was thinking is, yeah, we can't get these crawlers with a rocket or anything because they're in the shields, but Whirlwind should basically one-shot all of them, right? As soon as that procs, even if our Rhino goes down pretty quickly. Huge mistake, by the way, not to pick up Final Blitz. I wanted to do it. At one point, I was in, you know how when you select, you're chosen to get your round upgrade or whatever unit drop or whatever, it won't allow you to do anything else until you select one. It was minimized, and I was looking and I was clicking, going, why won't I get Final Blitz? And then as soon as I picked something, I got distracted and then didn't end up picking it at all. But this seems like a good Final Blitz situation, right? I think the radius might be big enough to hit these guys. Interesting to know if it goes under the shields. Maybe it just removes the shields and then it's not as good. Overlord coming in with a beacon onto my level 2 tower. Level 2 at least, but not ideal for me. We get the damage on our melting point. Reconsider. Put it on those wasps. What level of 2? Yes. Level 4. Attack increased wasps. Hopefully they won't get annihilated really quickly by this ongoing situation here. The Rhino goes down real quick, but he does get off that initial and super important whirlwind. And then it looks like, you know, even though we don't actually have anti-air spec yet, we're still taking down the air pretty effectively. And now this Overlord getting bogged down just before it gets close enough to threaten the tower. And just get overwhelmed by an incredible number of wasps. These Stormclaws are probably still getting pretty good value. You know, they're just quietly blasting away, but, you know, these Sledgehammers are still surviving too. Getting a lot of the chaff clear ground, still getting the most kills. I guess getting early access to a lot of those fangs, which is nice for our wasps who don't want to deal with fangs, even. Elite Fang. Nuke. I was thinking barrier, okay. What I was thinking in this moment was, what is our opponent going to do? Surely they're going to go, like, mass Mustang, right? Like, 4 recruit level 2 Mustang with range. Because I'm winning a lot with a lot of wasps. Like, way too many wasps. Like, if he counters these wasps really hard, I'm like, it's, you know, I've got 1 level 2 melting point. So I thought, okay, I'll, like, anticipate that, you know, I'm going to anticipate that he's going to go for Mustangs, grab a Vulcan, get Incendiary Bomb. It's too expensive. Unlock cost for Giants being 200 is so expensive. Maybe they should reduce it. Giants aren't that popular. On a unit drop, you love them, but, like, people don't really unlock Giants as much these days, I don't think. At least it doesn't appear that way. Maybe bring it down to 150? It's so expensive. I guess they're trying to prevent exactly what I want to do, which is put down 2 of these bad boys and anchor both sides of my force. But the whole idea doesn't work that well if I don't get the Incendiary Bomb, because I'm imagining, again, a huge swap into Mustang and then victoriously watching as the flames, like, engulf all of them, you know? See if that's what's going to happen. We're running out of time. Just grab a quick Rhino, put it in the middle. Maybe it'll run in and do something. Extra money for wasps, absolutely. Do we remember to kind of deal with this Overlord situation, which grows more and more dire by the moment? Of course not. Leveling the tower, that would be drastic. We're taking these guys down super duper fast now. Although, actually, on this side, we're starting to lose here, and we do take down, get a loss on our turret. The Vulcan, it's kind of annoying that it doesn't track its kills that it does with the missiles, like the fire on the ground. And it is getting some stuff. But didn't really see that it was that effective there. No extreme Mustang swap. Perhaps focusing more on what our opponent is doing rather than what they might do could have benefited me here. But, you know, I've still got a large number of, you know, beautiful wasps for the next round. And this majestic melting point walking in with just under a level. Can we get a level? Come on. Yes. If we'd had Suck here, might have been able to take out everyone. Gotta love a Suck Melter at the last minute. It doesn't even have range. It's pretty first conditions. Walking around all slow like that. Of course, I see 3 marksmen. I'm like, take it. No, why? I don't need them. Opponent does have these flying units, but we're dealing with that fine. I guess that would be okay against this, but... Wraith is what I want, I think. Armored Wraiths. Probably... probably that these Typhoons do too much damage to be stopped by Armored Wraith. And maybe these burst rockets out of these guys you know, takes the Wraith down pretty quick too. But I just thought to myself, like, if I get a big Armored Wraith out in front of these guys to tank up after the Rhino goes down, maybe that's going to be quite good. We'll see. We get a lot of them. Why not? Pepper them in, you know? Again, don't think about what our opponent might do in terms of balls or trying to make this attack more powerful. Or level the tower. I mean, at least if you're going to abandon the tower to, like, a huge Overlord push, just, like, level the tower. As soon as the round begins, I see the red mark, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I think that happened to me twice. Who needs Who needs to consider our opponent's strategy when we're going Mass Wasp? Mass Wasp, and we have ground spec. What a tech! Look at this. Isn't that wild? 200%. Thank you. We have the ability to go into air spec if we need to. Even shield if we need to. Our opponent goes for more Typhoons too. But the Armored Wraith is surviving here initially and staying in front of the Wasps. Tanking up these shots too, so excellent stuff there. Tower goes down really quickly to those balls. Big debuff over here, but this huge swarm over here still totally up. And the debuff wears off, and we're surrounding this Overlord, still getting uptime with the Wasps. Takes a long time for an Overlord to kill an equivalent cost of cheap Wasps. We lose both towers. Opponent loses a tower too. It's absolute mayhem. Melta v Melta. We suck the strongest. Wasps coming in. This Overlord is just taking down so many lives. But it's not going to be enough. Mass Wasp. Taking it in round number 9. So, I don't know, I thought that was a fun game. I kind of like Wasps when you can play them like that. Yeah. I think, again, if our opponent had gone for Mustang, it would have been much harder. These things die so fast to Mustangs, right? I think. At least that's what I would have done. Maybe you disagree. Comment. Like, subscribe. Yeah, this is Partyfoot. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you in the next one.